love it. Torture these broads. They torture everyone around them all the time. Torture them back. All Andrew's doing is he's taking female manipulation and throwing it back on these broads' heads. What up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. Today, we are reacting to Andrew Wilson torching a feminist on bodily autonomy. As you guys know, I call Andrew the 304 destroyer. So let's see how much he cooks.
So you don't think that people deserve the right to bodily autonomy?
No.
What makes someone deserve the right to bodily autonomy?
Well, when you say bodily autonomy,
We are so stupid. Do you know what it's like being a woman? I'm like on the losing team. It's like being a Cubs fan. We did win the World Series that one time, but like before that, we hadn't won a World Series in 100 years. We sucked forever, and you still gotta like root for your team. But like women, it's like, you know, we have all these birth control methods. We're like, can you track your cycle? They're like, no, that's too hard. We're like, all right, I don't think that's that hard, but you know, if you say so. How about we, how about we give you plan B? So if you nuts in you next day, go to plan B. And the women are like, oh no, that's too hard. And we're like, can you get an abortion in the first 3 months? They're like, that's not enough. What about an IUD? Can you put one of those up your vagina? But hormone issues. And then you're like, but abortion, if you have a bunch of abortions, you're going to have hormone issues too. It's like, all right, whatever.
yeah, would you agree then that a fetus has bodily autonomy?
I'm talking right now about human beings.
Well, I consider those human beings, though.
I'm talking right now about people.
That's always the debate. It's like, are they human or are they not human?
Who can talk and walk, who are independent, singular organisms.
So people who are in comas, they have no rights?
Dude, you keep doing comas and prisoners and fetuses. Just talk about a fucking person.
What about
you
is a
and
person?
Me? Just talk about a person who is not an exception, who is not in a medical state of physical.
Yeah, but what we're trying to determine right now is the worldview. You say people deserve to have bodily autonomy.
Honestly, I just say let's strike a deal. Ladies, you get abortion for 2.5 months. I think that's plenty. You missed 2 periods and you still didn't get an abortion scheduled. You're just too dumb. You're too dumb. You're too dumb. I mean, at this point, maybe you shouldn't reproduce. I don't know.
And then you give me the criteria for bodily autonomy, and then I can instantly point to an example where you agree
That's not what we're trying to do. What you're trying to do is create a gotcha so you don't have to answer the genuine question that I'm asking.
What's the genuine question you're asking?
The question is, do people, regardless of outliers, does the average person who has not committed a crime, who is not inside of another person, who is not brain dead or in a coma, deserve bodily autonomy?
Depending on what you mean by that.
I love Andrew. He knows what she's trying to ask. I mean, she's basically saying like sentient people, do they deserve the right to do whatever they want to their bodies? And I actually think this is a pointless debate because women will always have that right in my lifetime. Unfortunately, I'm not for it. As you guys know, I mean, I have a personal story to this. I mean, I found out I had a brother at 22 who who hypothetically could have been aborted. But my mom chose life. She gave him up for adoption. And when I met him, it was kind of crazy. I just, he was exactly like us. And he grew up to get married, have kids. You know, it's crazy though. He's pro-choice. He's pro-choice. But anyways, yeah, it's a pointless argument. It's going to be legal forever. And I'm against it personally. I argued for pro-life talking points when I was 12 on the playground. I remember doing this. But it's going to be legal forever.
The autonomy being defined as the ability to choose what you do with your body so long as you are not threatening other people's bodily autonomy.
No.
Why not?
Because I would say that things like laws against unaliving yourself would be completely appropriate and things like this, which would be a violation of your bodily autonomy by your criteria.
So you think that because people can't unalive themselves?
No, I'm saying you gave me the criteria for what bodily autonomy means, right? You asked me what an objection would be against it, and I just gave you one.
Okay, so let's cut out that outlier. Do you think...
Andrew, I love Andrew, but he knows what she's trying to ask. But he's going to keep going. But I love it. Torture these broads. They torture everyone around them all the time. Torture them back. All Andrew's doing is he's taking female manipulation and throwing it back on these broads' heads. Yeah.
that people who are not inside another person, who have not committed a violent crime against themselves or others, and who are not currently brain dead and are conscious and capable of perceiving the world, do you think that those people deserve bodily autonomy?
No, based on the example I just gave you.
Just because people have the capacity to unalive themselves, no one deserves bodily autonomy.
By the definition that you just gave, we could not give them bodily autonomy definitionally by that definition because...
Definitionally by that definition?
Definitionally by that definition, yes. So I could say definitionally by some other definition, but I'm giving you the referent to your definition.
We don't deserve bodily autonomy.
Not by your definition, because that would prevent us from preventing people from like doing suicide and things like this.
So we don't deserve bodily autonomy because under my definition of bodily autonomy, we cannot prevent someone from killing themselves?
Correct.
But that's not a violent act. Like, why
yeah, that's a real violent act.
Why can't, under my definition, you can't prevent someone from killing themselves?
Because it would violate your rule for what bodily autonomy is.
I said so long as you are not a threat to your...
Yeah, you see what he did? He got her off the actual question. So smart. He's a very good technical debater.
...self or others. So that includes you. So you would relinquish your bodily autonomy.
Well, she's going to have to keep explaining her question. And now she's kind of fallen into his frame.
If you were a threat to yourself.
Then I think that it would then just be trivially true that you don't really mean bodily autonomy anymore. Because what you do is you say bodily autonomy with all of these exceptions where we can violate bodily autonomy.
But that's like 3 exceptions. It's exceptions that...
It's not like 3 exceptions.
I know what she's asking. She's saying these are like extreme situations. Should the average woman have the right to do whatever she wants with her body? And I would say in Pearl's world, no, but I have no legal power. So you guys are just going to keep doing it. Keep being whores, ladies. I don't care anymore. I've given up. You win.
Many exceptions. What about somebody who's just like cutting themselves with a razor blade? Can we stop them? What about a person who just says that they want to cut off their right arm because they think it'll be fun? Can we stop them? Like,
I don't think you could. Like if someone really wanted to cut off their arm, sorry, I was thinking of this cannibalism case where this guy like consented to being eaten alive. Stop watching true crime.
There's so many examples I can give you of where we would violate people's bodily autonomy. What about a person who's having like a manic episode and doesn't want to go to the hospital? Can we violate their bodily autonomy?
Well, they're a threat to themselves or others. So again, that would fall in there.
What if they're not a threat? What if they're just having like a manic episode? They don't want to leave their house. You just perceive it that way.
That happens all the time. Those
Exactly. So we violate that whatever you consider by your definition bodily autonomy. When you say do people deserve that, and I say absolutely not by that definition because I can point to 300 different reasons why we would need to violate it.
So is there any definition of bodily autonomy that you think that
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of a definition of bodily autonomy I would agree to that I wouldn't think we should be able to violate.
So you don't think that people should have the ability to control themselves and their bodies under any circumstance?
I don't care. Kill your kids. You win. You win, ladies. I got better shit to do. Kill your kids. That's how I feel about it. I got better things to do than argue about this all day. And I think that's how a lot of men with jobs feel. I mean, obviously we argue for a living, so we have to, but a lot of men with jobs feel as though they're like tired of this bullshit.
Because
I didn't say under any circumstance.
So what's the circumstance in which people should have the right to control their body?
Yeah, so, well, for me, I would say that if it's in some type of case of will, that you could do that. But I mean, ultimately, I think
free will?
Yeah, no, in case of will. So I'm not sure that I believe in some universalized right for bodily autonomy. And you haven't really given me any definitional reason why I should.
But I don't understand why you don't believe in bodily autonomy. Why don't you believe in bodily autonomy?
Because my understanding of what bodily autonomy is that you basically have the right to do whatever you want absent the infringement of somebody else's bodily autonomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you think people should have
Because
the right
I
to do
think that I need to many times infringe on people's bodily autonomy for their good or societies.
Why are you constantly infringing on other people's bodily autonomy?
He's not infringing on shit. No offense, Andrew. But I mean, come on, lady. You guys, what more do you ladies want? You get to kill your kids basically up to birth in Colorado. You win. What more would make you hit? What more can men do for you? Truly. What more do you need?
What are you up to?
What do you mean?
What you just said, I feel the need to...
Yeah, well, I would use force doctrine for that, meaning voting, things like that, to violate bodily autonomy.
When are you forcing
When I go
yourself onto others
vote.
to bodily...
I'm forcing my will when I go vote on other people through force doctrine.
No, you're not, because they all have a vote.
Great. Can I vote?
mean, not according to you, but
I can vote and you can vote, right?
yes.
Okay, you want abortions to be legal?
Yes.
If I vote against that, am I voting against your bodily autonomy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can we move on now?
No,
Andrew, you're too smart for these women.
we can't move on now.
No,
because
we
you still
can't move on.
haven't
Okay.
Women can never move on from anything ever. I mean, that's like the modern woman. Yeah.
Well, Andrew, you still haven't explained why humans don't deserve bodily autonomy. Like, what are
I
you
just
saying?
explained it to you.
So then should control people?
Well, in this case, we would use groupings of laws under, and from my view, it would be like Christian ethics. From your view, it would be like, I don't know, shared bizarre intuitions or whatever, where you think that, I don't know. Well, I don't know where it is that you.
What I believe. Stop
Do
it.
you believe in God?
I'm on the fence.
That's so annoying. Women are like, you make a basic assumption, and then women are like, don't assume. And then you're like, you're an atheist, aren't you? She's like, yes. This is women. We are just like we psychologically torture everybody around us.
Then it's just intuition. So everything that you believe is probably just intuition.
So you believe? Well, I mean, there's also facts and like physical evidence, but you know. So you believe
Facts and physical evidence require an interpreter, right?
like eyes and ears.
They
and a brain?
require you to interpret them.
So you're saying that facts are different for everyone, regardless of how they interpret.
Well, they require an interpreter, and the interpreter can interpret them however they choose, and then can make moral prescriptions based on those. But when we get to the moral prescriptions,
Facts don't change based on your.
but your moral prescriptions based on the facts do. That's
Okay,
why
sure.
they require interpreters. So I'm not really willing to kind of cede the ground.
Fact, but you are
Yeah.
your own personal interpreter now.
Yeah, I interpret things correct. Yeah.
Yes, okay, and so do I. That's
Yeah, I
how
know, but I
facts
just
work.
don't.
We all see facts, and then we make
Yeah,
our
right,
own
but I
conscious
haven't-
judgments about those facts.
Right, but I have an
based on how
epistemic
our brains work.
foundation that I appeal to for foundational morals. You don't. You would
So
just
you think
appeal
that
to
everyone should
intuition.
have to subscribe to the Christian God, and that is who decides who has free will?
I think that Christian ethics, if we inform law, it's a way better system than any form of law we have currently. Yes.
But why does that relinquish people's free will? I'm confused as to what that.
We're
has
not
to do with
even.
bodily.
We weren't talking about free will.
Okay, so then what
We're
is?
talking about bodily autonomy now.
Okay, so then based on
Your definition of bodily autonomy,
Yes.
the one that you gave me,
Sure.
we would definitely need to violate it, and you even agree to that. So
and what? Just for abortion or what?
no, for the purpose of like side cutting.
I mean, do you guys have the time for this to argue with women? This is why men just give women what they want, because they just want us to shut the F up. You know, it's like you could argue with this woman on a date, or you could smash and dash. Which are men gonna pick? All right, thank you, Andrew, for doing God's work once
Yourself
again.
with razor blades, all sorts of various things that you could do to yourself for self that we would step in and violate your bodily autonomy over.
Okay, so outside of those specific examples in which someone is committing an act of harm, which I also removed from my definition of bodily
Then I
autonomy.
don't consider that bodily autonomy anymore by your definition.
I actually know what she's asking, but yeah, cook her, torture her back, Andrew, torture her, because this is what they do mentally to us forever. So anyways, guys, make sure you like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and let me know if you have another Andrew Wilson reaction you want me to react to next. I'll see you next time.